and it's Saturday morning, rainy day here in Maine. I got a cool one to show this morning. This is a 1930's Supertone La Habanera. And that's obviously talking about this dancing lady on the front, which just looked to me like an old piece of like Da Vinci artwork. Look at all the crazing and checking in that finish there that just makes it look like some old close-up of like a masterpiece. So I just was hooked when I saw this. Throw in this classy, awesome mother of toilet seat fretboard and headstock, and I was hooked. And I picked this thing up. It's like it's filled with helium. It weighs 2 pounds, 12 ounces. And that was even after adding a truss rod to it that weighed 4.5 ounces. So it's amazing. I just love these things. These Supertones. Supertone was part of the Harmony Music Company. And let's see if I get the history right here. Sears and Roebuck bought out Harmony in like the 20s or something. And Harmony still made stuff for other manufacturers. But Supertone was the Sears label before they became Silvertone. And they made all kinds of different models, and I've done a couple of them. I've done some that were birch. I've done some that were, supposedly maple, but I think it was really yellow birch. And then they had these that are sort of a top shelf model. And this is solid spruce top, solid mahogany back and sides, a solid mahogany one-piece neck, which really blows my mind because most of these Supertones are, the older parlors that I've done have a poplar neck. But this, when I took the fretboard off to put the truss rod in, this is all mahogany and it's one piece. Great big, beautiful V shape. I mean, really, this thing is like, how they built Gibsons and Martins. I mean, the solid spruce, this is almost 90 years old and not a crack on it. And the back and side, solid, just absolutely beautiful mahogany. This that had one crunch over on this side where it looked like the corner had gotten hit. So it was kind of dinged up and it was cracked and broken. So, there's one rough patch on the back. But you know what? 90 years old, if I had that kind of rough patch, I'll be feeling pretty good. It was missing a bridge. It had 2 loose braces on the inside in the ladder bracing. The fretboard was completely curled up. It looked like a ramp, like an old concave water ski. But I just wanted to save everything. The frets were tiny little nothing. They were all curled up and just so skinny. I mean, the kind that just cut your fingers. And it had no tuners. So obviously this needed a lot of work. It had seen some neglect. So the usual Resto-Mod treatment. But what I did, I started out by pulling the neck off, pulled the fretboard off. Then I meticulously peeled all of this pearl fretboard cover off the top. I even flip-flopped one because this actually was in the 10 position. Back in the day, they used to do like a 5, a 10, 5, 7, 10, and 12, kind of like an old mandolin. But I decided I wanted it at the 9th fret like we all play guitars now. So I flip-flopped those when I put it back together. I re-radiused the fretboard. While I had it off, I routed a channel in the neck, so it's got a 2-way hot rod truss rod that is accessible through the sound hole. And I'm going to show what I use now. I got this on Amazon. It's a long 4mm with a ball end. So anybody that buys these guitars from me would be well served in spending $9 and getting one of these things because it just reaches right up perfectly in there for adjusting the truss rod. I glued all of the Perloid mother of toilet seat back onto the fretboard, and then I refretted it, and I used my brand new fret press arbor that I just got. Love it. It's a little slower than hammering them in, but boy, they just go in so level and seated so nicely, and they're all glued into place. So take a look at the pictures. You'll see that in the listing here. So now the neck is off. Fretboard's been done. New frets are on it. So what did I do? I go to the back, and I cleaned this all up when I took the back off, this spot that was all beat up. But I took the back off, took all the old bracing out of the inside, and this has very lightweight X bracing, on the top now. 1/4 inch thick, scallop tapered. Not forward shifted, kind of back in here because I wanted to give some support to the belly. I've only got one tone bar in there. I got one finger brace on each side. It's got a new transverse brace so that you can reach through with that truss rod, with that Allen wrench to adjust the truss rod. Very small footprint of a main hard rock maple bridge plate, 1/10 of an inch thick. And then I glued it all back together. And no binding on the back, didn't have any, so that made that easy. Clean that all up while I was at it. So, you know, it's not as smooth as the finish where the nitro was here. This is down to the rough wood, but it's nice and sealed up. Carved an ebony bridge for it based on the old style Supertone pattern. Looks kind of like an old Gibson bridge on like an LOO or something. And then strung it all back up. It's got some tuners that I had lying around. They're kind of different. They're not period correct, probably. These are probably 50s tuners or something, but I thought they looked kind of good on this. And I'm just absolutely blown away by the tone this thing has. Got a 2 1/4 string spacing on the bridge, 1.83, whatever that turns out to be, nut width. That's just the way the neck was itself. So it's very comfortable on finger style. And if you dig into it with a pick, it makes a lot of noise. Anyway, 1930s Supertone, La Habanera, the dancing beauty. Solid spruce top, solid mahogany back and sides, X-braced, neck reset, new frets, new two-way truss rod, new ebony bridge, bone saddle, original bone nut, mother of toilet seat of the finest kind. 90-year-old All-American made parlor guitar that weighs about 2.5 pounds. Thanks a lot for watching. See ya.